Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, yet something feels profoundly wrong? You follow the rules. You work hard. You smile when you're supposed to. You chase goals, make lists, and fill your days with movement. But when the noise fades, when the screen goes dark, there's that quiet ache. That feeling that somewhere along the way, you lost yourself. Maybe you've built a life full of achievements, but you can shake the sense that you're replaying a role, someone else's script written long before you arrived. You try to be productive, optimistic, likable, but deep down you know you're exhausted, not from doing too little, but from being too much of what you're not. And that's the tragedy of modern life. We've mastered efficiency but forgotten essence. We've learned how to climb, but not how to choose the right wall. Stephen Covey called this the inside-out approach, a philosophy that begins not with appearance or performance, but with character. And that's exactly what the world has taught us to neglect. Somewhere in the 20th century, we shifted from what Covey called the character ethic, a life built on integrity, humility, and courage, to the personality ethic, a life built on charm, image, and technique. It's no coincidence that this shift happened after the World Wars, when survival gave birth to speed, and speed became the new god. We learned to sell ourselves before we learned to understand ourselves, and in the process, we became strangers in our own skin. Plato once wrote that the greatest victory is to conquer oneself. But in an age of self-branding, the self is no longer something to be conquered. It's something to be marketed. We curate rather than cultivate. We manipulate rather than master. Our culture whispers, be confident, be successful, be positive. But it never asks, be what? Confidence without character is arrogance. Success without purpose is emptiness. Positivity without principle is delusion. The world doesn't need more people who can smile through the storm. It needs people who can stand in it, rooted, unshaken, guided by something deeper than approval. Covey's genius wasn't that he told people how to succeed, it's that he redefined success itself. He said that effectiveness, the real kind, is a balance between P, what you produce, and PC, your capacity to produce. In Aesop's fable, it's the goose and the golden egg. If you focus only on the eggs, on results, you kill the goose. But if you only pamper the goose, you never produce anything at all. Think about it. How many of us destroy our health chasing promotions? How many sacrifice relationships to chase recognition? How many burn out not because we're weak, but because we've forgotten balance? You are not a machine. You are the goose. And every time you trade your soul for a short-term win, you sharpen the knife that will one day silence your golden voice. Real transformation, the kind that endures, always begins from the inside out. It begins the moment you realize that freedom isn't the absence of obstacles, but the mastery of response. Covey's first habit, be proactive, isn't about ambition, it's about agency. It's the quiet rebellion against the victim mentality that runs our world. Viktor Frankl, who survived the Holocaust, once wrote, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. That space is your humanity. And the moment you stop defending your reactions and start choosing them, you reclaim the part of yourself that can never be controlled." Most people never find that space. They live reacting, scrolling, consuming, imitating, never realizing they are free. Then comes habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Ask yourself, if your life were a story, what would the last page say? Nietzsche once said that the one who has a why can bear almost any how. But most of us live without a why. We chase busyness to escape the silence that might expose our lack of direction. Covey challenges us to visualize our own funeral, not as a morbid fantasy, but as an awakening. Who will be there? What will they say? Will they talk about your title, or your touch, your achievements, or your authenticity? Because that's the moment truth arrives. Everything you think is urgent today will be irrelevant in the end. Only what is built on principle, on the character ethic, will remain. And that's where habit 3 enters. Put first things first. This is where philosophy becomes practice. It's easy to say your family matters more than work, until the email arrives. It's easy to say health matters, until the deadlines hit. But the essence of integrity isn't what you say, it's what you schedule. Covey divided life into 4 quadrants: urgent and important, urgent and unimportant, not urgent but important, and not urgent and not important. Most of us live in the first one, chasing crises, responding to emergencies. But greatness lives in the second, the not urgent but deeply important. That's where you find reflection, rest, reading, exercise, and love. The things that never shout, but always matter. But once you master yourself, Covey warns, you must master the next challenge, others. The public victory. Because independence isn't the end game. Interdependence, the ability to collaborate, to empathize, to synergize, is where real power begins. We live in a culture obsessed with winning. But Covey's habit 4, think win-win, dares to ask, what if we stopped treating life as a zero-sum game? Machiavelli wrote that it is better to be feared than loved. But perhaps he was half right, because those who are feared never build, they only guard. Win-win thinking requires courage and consideration, a rare blend of steel and soul. To win with others, you must first win the inner war between ego and empathy. You must learn that strength is not domination, it's alignment. And then comes habit 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. This is where most relationships, most nations, and most people fail. We listen, but not to understand. We listen to reload. True listening is the death of the self. It means surrendering your need to be right long enough to see the world through another ass's eyes. Covey called this psychological air, the oxygen of the soul. When people feel understood, they change, not because you convinced them, but because you cared. Empathic listening is radical. It's spiritual. It's the rarest form of love. Habit 6, synergize, is the magic that happens when understanding becomes creation. When 2 minds stop competing and start collaborating, something new is born, something neither could have imagined alone. That's synergy, the alchemy of difference. It's the opposite of the social media echo chamber where everyone shouts and no one changes. It's the humble realization that your truth and mine might not conflict. They might complete each other. To live synergistically is to see diversity not as danger, but as design. It's the antidote to tribalism, cynicism, and division. Finally, habit 7, sharpen the saw. It's a reminder that you are not a project. You are a process. The greatest tool you have is you. And when you neglect renewal, when you stop reading, stop reflecting, stop reconnecting, you dull the very blade that cuts through life's chaos. Covey divides renewal into 4 dimensions. The physical, your body. The spiritual, your compass. The mental, your curiosity. The social, emotional, your relationships. Each day you neglect one, you shrink your soul a little. Each day you renew them, you rise again. Bonhoeffer once said, action springs not from thought, but from a readiness for responsibility. Sharpening the saw isn't self-indulgence. It's the discipline of staying ready to serve. And maybe that's what Covey meant when he said to live in crescendo, that your greatest work, your truest love, your deepest purpose are always still ahead of you. Because character is not a destination, it's a direction. Success is not achievement, it's alignment. And freedom, real freedom, is not doing whatever you want. It's becoming the kind of person who no longer wants what destroys you. So maybe today, instead of asking how to be more productive, ask, who am I becoming? Instead of asking what you want to have, ask, what do I want to be? Because the world doesn't need more personalities. It needs people of character, quietly, consistently, courageously, living from the inside out. And when you start there, when you rebuild yourself from principle rather than performance, you don't just change your life. You change the map by which the world itself will one day find its way home. The key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. Stephen R. Covey.